Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MTGOTraders. My name is Taryn, and this is kind of a different video. There's no green screen behind me. There's no backdrop behind me. I've rearranged my desk a little bit to make sure there's more space in here for the baby and all that kind of stuff while we can work and also be productive with having a baby in here. So this is kind of a video called, I guess, a Q&A video. That's what you would call this video. I asked you guys on the Facebook group like what kind of questions you want me to answer, and you guys fulfilled, and I have 25 questions here, so we can hopefully get through these pretty quickly, but we'll see what happens and if I go pretty in-depth with the questions here. But if you guys don't know, we do have a Facebook group. The link is in the description, of course, and we have a Discord as well, so if you guys want to be a part of the conversation, we have both of those channels, and Twitter too for myself and for MTGOTraders proper. So first question here is, why do you like Magic the Gathering? And that's kind of a big question, I guess. And for me, it's just, it's basically chess plus math equals fun, but also like, I guess, math plus fantasy as well. I really like the kind of the competitive nature of it, but also the fun nature, like the fantasy element of it as well. A lot of you guys, if you listen to the MTG creator stuff, I kind of go in depth there where I kind of got into trading card games via like Pokemon, and then got really into it in middle school with like games like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. And then just kind of naturally shifted from Yu-Gi-Oh in high school, middle school, high school, to Magic the Gathering around the Kamigawa block, because that's like a Japanese themed based block. I really love like anime and things like that, and so went from like Yu-Gi-Oh, which is like a very anime themed thing, very Japanese thing, to Kamigawa block and Magic, which is a cool way to transition over, and then kind of fell out of it a little bit, but for like the senior year of high school, and then got back into it in like, you know, Mirrodin, Besiege, New Phyrexia, that kind of stuff in college. So was actually an RA in college, a resident assistant, if you can believe that, and I actually hosted a bunch of tournaments on campus, like giving away like fat packs and stuff like that. So that was really fun because you couldn't actually host too many fun events, like events that weren't like health based or act like I don't know, something like that, like where it's like an awareness kind of thing. It has to be like, you can only do like one fun event per like semester, and most of mine were either like video game tournaments or Magic the Gathering tournaments. And most of the time we had like, I don't know, 20-30 people show up to the Magic the Gathering stuff just to play Magic and have me kill them with my mill deck. Because at the time in World Wake, mill was amazing. But that's I guess a good, I don't know, background on why do I like Magic. I like Magic because it's fun. It's simple fun. It's really like kind of has a cool competitive angle. And yeah, I like the fantasy aspect as well, and the art. Art is really good too. How long have I been playing Magic? I guess since high school, so that's going to be like since like 2008, so probably about 10 years now. And that's a long time to be playing a trading card game. You know, Magic is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, and I'm celebrating my 10th, I guess. Okay, so the next one is, what is the reason you started playing? And I guess that's first from friends, kind of going from Yu-Gi-Oh into MTG, or new friends in high school, like seniors, were playing Magic the Gathering and showing me these cool cards, and I was like, what is this game? It's super cool looking, and going into it from there. It says, yeah, they put in parentheses, friends played already, a family member dragged you in, pretty girl at the game store? Nope, just friends played already. Wasn't the other two things there. My family is not really into like those kind of things at all. We are kind of into board games as a family, but not really trading card games at all. Favorite card and why? We're gonna go with probably, I want to say like Archive Trap or Traumatize, just because those are the kind of the decks that I like to build. It's for fun. Archive Trap, of course, is the card that where you mill, what, 13 or is it 15 for 0 if they search. In Modern, it's an amazing card if you're into Esper Mill. And during World Wake, it was amazing, unless opponents had Eldrazi in their deck, and if they hit the graveyard, you feel real bad about that. And then Traumatize is opponent loses half their deck rounded up, I believe. So that was a really fun card as well for 5 mana. Really love those two cards. Love playing them in their respective standard formats, as well as just playing them for fun and just fun builds as well. What's your favorite color? I really want to say blue, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, it's just because he's a control player. It's not really like the control aspect, it's more the mill aspect and me having fun, like casually killing somebody that way, or beating somebody that way. Also, I like a lot of bounce spells, a lot of boomerang, stuff like that. That's really fun as well. But yeah, control's fun too, if you can play it and not like have a salty opponent after the match. I kind of learned really quickly whenever you're going to local game stores to not bring control decks because everyone will hate you. So that's not a good first impression to bring, basically. And what's your favorite guild? Why? Again, I'm going to say Dimir. So that's black-blue from Ravnica. Like that a lot. And it says, what's your favorite shard/clan and why? And I wasn't really playing around Shards of Alara, so I can't really comment on that. As far as clan, I'm guessing you're saying like the Tarkir plane. I guess we could go with Jeskai. I really love the Jeskai build and that particular standard environment. I loved that set for that. And just loved all the colors that were involved in Jeskai. Just white, blue, and red. Just good colors there. Have you ever played or tried to play competitively, or are you always going to be a filthy casual? Filthy casual for me forever. That's where I want to be. So I've been to a couple GPs. I went to one in Memphis recently, a few months ago, and really enjoyed it. Love the side events and things like that, but I don't think I would ever want to play competitively. And one of the reasons is, of course, whoops, I hit the mic there. One of the reasons, of course, is that competitive play is so different compared to like just playing for fun or even playing like at a local game store, even like doing game day stuff. It's just so so different from how you look at the game compared to just like brewing and having fun with your friends. Competitive is also has like a lot of like rules about like opaque cards, if you have double-sided cards, and all these other like little minutia rules you have to learn for GPs and PTQs and all that kind of stuff that I just don't have the patience to like learn or care about. I'm here to have fun, you know, and if I win some matches, that's great. You know, I want to make sure that the decks I do brew on the channel are definitely kind of have that competitive edge. Like they can be tooled up to be more competitive, or they're competitive as is. But at the end of the day, all my decks are kind of built around trying to have fun while also winning the match. Let's see. Now that you're a dad, do you see yourself curtailing your time playing Magic? I don't know. Probably a little bit, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of my day now is kind of centering around working and then turning around and helping Jess with the baby. We just had a newborn, or I guess we had a newborn. Holly is now a month and a week old, 5 weeks old now, something like that. Math is hard. But yeah, it's been really fun, really challenging as far as our time goes at the beginning here, but I assume that it's going to get a little bit easier as she gets older, with like how long she sleeps and that kind of thing, as well as me being able to kind of contribute to feeding her that kind of stuff when she's able to have solid foods and all that, because we're breastfeeding and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit, yeah. I think that's kind of part of it. I think the thing I'm more excited about is when Holly gets older, like around like 7, 8, 9, if she might be interested in Magic the Gathering and I can maybe, teach her how to play. That'd be really cool to do. I really like teaching people things, and being able to teach like my daughter something like that, that'd be awesome. Number 10 says, how are you such a nice, happy person, and is there a class one can take to become a nice, happy person? I mean, no, I don't know about that. That's a really nice question. I think that one was from Joey in the Facebook group. I just have them like listed out in a Word document here. I don't know how I'm a nice, happy person, really. I mean, I just try to be nice to everybody and be respectful. One of the things for me is like I try not to judge too quickly on people, especially online, because a lot of people like to make snap judgments, especially on Twitter. And in the YouTube comments, a lot of people like to make really snap judgments on people, and either they're wrong and you can correct them, or they just don't care and they just want to say whatever they want to say. I know sometimes in the YouTube comments I'll get a really like rude comment, and they'll be like, "This is like this," and I'm like, "I literally explained that in the video if you watched it," and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I watched later and you did say that." I'm like, oh, "Okay, well then he just didn't watch all the video," that kind of thing. But I don't know, just be patient with people. And try not to step on any toes. And if you can help it, just be nice in general to everybody. I mean, that's kind of the thing for me. And kind of be honest. One of the things too is like, I feel like a lot of people just kind of lack the honesty to want to be nice, like the authenticity of being nice. And they kind of like feign like, I'm just going to be nice because I have to be nice. Don't be nice because you have to be nice. Be nice because you want to be nice. And I think that really helps a lot of people, especially me, as far as meeting new people. Because like sometimes I can meet somebody and I'm like, oh, this person's really rude and mean, but like I don't really like process that until like after the fact when someone else brings something up. I'm like, oh, they kind of were a little rude, but I mean that's first impression. You never really know until you get to know somebody more, like repeat, hanging out with them, that kind of thing. Number 11, who is your favorite Planeswalker? I mean, because I like anime and stuff like that, I'm going to probably say Soren Markov. And also because I like vampire stuff whenever I was growing up, because I was an emo kid. I was one of the kids going to like Hot Topic and stuff like that, getting the dark shirts and the Panic at the Discos and like doing my nails and all that kind of stuff. Like, I wish that MySpace existed so I could share some of those photos to be really cringy, but luckily I deleted that MySpace, so they don't exist anymore. But yeah, I really like Soren Markov as a character. I think he's cool. I wish he was written a little bit more like, I don't know, fun, like in a more fun way, but he isn't at all, and it's kind of annoying. He's also trapped in like a rock right now, I think. But yeah, I think Soren's probably my favorite. Also just like, you know, like the black Planeswalkers, and he was black-white as well. Just a big fan of that. What is your favorite MTG YouTube channel, not MTGOtraders affiliated? That's kind of a hard one because there's a lot of them out there now. There's like a bunch of little small MTG creator channels that have kind of popped up out of the woodwork. I'm definitely going to, I know that she's affiliated with us, but Sickly MTG is fun as far as one that's affiliated with MTGOtraders, but one that's not, that I really enjoy. I would probably say Booster Tutor is really cool. I really like the Command Zone, and I honestly kind of like Alpha Investments. I think he's a fun character as far as what he does on his channel. Now, as far as him like being like believable and all that kind of stuff, like that's whatever. But as far as him being a fun character for the MTG community, I think that's awesome. And the next question is, what is your favorite non-MTG YouTube channel? So many. It's kind of hard to kind of pin that down because I watch a lot of different types of content. First We Feast is great with Hot Ones. That's a really great channel to watch. Of course, it's a really popular channel, so it's like one that's like people probably already watch. I really enjoy stuff like Video Game Donkey, stuff like that. That's really fun. But that's super popular again. Something that's a little bit smaller probably would be maybe somebody like Nikki Jakey, which is fun. Just a YouTube channel that does like video game like comedy style content. Let me just kind of go through my list here. Drew Gooden is good. Ristic Studies is a good MTG content creator we're not affiliated with. I love. And love Needle Drop as far as like music stuff. If I want to keep up on that kind of stuff. Domix is great. Nerd Rider 1. Nerd City's fun. Comic Book Girl is also fun. Just a bunch of stuff like that I really enjoy. And then Jess is addicted to Jenna Marbles, and we watch that basically every Thursday. I have one here that says, how rich would you be if you didn't purchase so many Funko Pops? I'm gonna level with you right now. I don't purchase any Funko Pops. I don't like Funko Pops. They look kind of soulless and menacing and not that great looking, honestly. I'm more into like figures like Figma, SH Figure Arts, that kind of thing. Just got some really cool ones from like Mega Man Zero, stuff like that on the desk that I really enjoy. And I love doing like Master Grade Gundam builds, like Gunpla builds. Those are really fun and also really like relaxing to do. Can actually waste a whole Saturday doing that. So not a big fan of Funko Pops, but I do like, you know, just regular figurines like that as far as things that are like nice toys on the shelf, on the desk. How did you make it so far in life despite being a ginger? Well, you'll see I kind of bleached my hair for a little bit, so I went underground for a little bit, but it's kind of coming out again on the top here. I do need to re-dye this because this is just destroyed hair. So I definitely need a haircut in the future and need to re-dye it, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you know, it's fine. I mean, just any other person. I go through life one step at a time. That's about it. Is a hot dog a sandwich? If you dream long enough and hard enough, it might just be a sandwich. I mean, technically it is meat and bread. So, I mean, I guess anything like that would be considered a sandwich, but whatever. What would be in the Terran Qual's signature spellbook? I feel like I did this on Twitter already, so I might just like look that up and put it like right here, right over here on the thing. But probably a bunch of mill cards because that's what I love. Why do you prefer Standard over other formats such as Modern, Legacy, Pauper, or Commander? One, Standard rotates, and I know that's a really like kind of controversial thing that a lot of people don't like about Standard, but for me, I love it because it forces people to make new decks that adapt to the format. Pauper, Modern, Commander, Legacy, all of these formats are very static. Now, there are new cards that come into it thanks to new sets every 3 months, thanks to the Standard format being a thing. But because those formats are so static, and there are just so many good cards from previous sets in those formats, you basically have, 20 to 30 decks just running, the entire format. And I feel like that's just kind of like the the good thing about Standard is, like, you may have a deck that kind of dominates the format, like, you know, you have the Reservoir decks or whatever that are like, or not the Reservoir decks, but the Eldrazi deck that had to get banned a couple months ago, whenever Shadows over Innistrad and all that kind of stuff was in Standard. Like those kind of decks, like our Energy decks a couple months ago as well, and then Mono Red aggro right now is a really big deck. Like, those decks have their day in the sun, definitely, but at the same time, they go away, and they never come back. You know, it's like, I really like Dragons of Tarkir and the Clans of Tarkir, or Khans of Tarkir, that block, but Siege Rhino was, like, the deck that I really despised playing against, and it was everywhere. But, you know, now, it can't be, you know, it's not in Standard anymore, so it can't be played. So that's one of the things that makes me, like, super excited about Standard, because it's always fresh, it's always, like, new and exciting, and it's always pushing forward. Like, all the new stuff that comes out, it may not be as good as the stuff that came out, like, in alpha or beta or whatever, but it's still interesting, and it's still fun to me. It's got new art, it's got new borders, it's got new mechanics. I mean, that's the thing that I really love about Standard. And of course, you can always use those cards in older formats, but the issue is those cards in newer formats may not be as powerful as the cards in older formats, and so you kind of just, like, end up just, you know, not using them at all. And that's one of the things that really pulls me into Standard, kind of knowing that, you know, I can drop off the map in Standard, but in 3 months I can pick it right back up and, like, build a deck and be perfectly fine playing with anybody after a rotation happens. But yeah, that's why I like Standard over other formats. I like Modern and Pauper, and I don't really play enough Commander. I don't really have a lot of, like, friends to play multiplayer Commander, but, you know, I appreciate the format as far as it goes. Love Modern as far as being a really wide format, but you know, whenever you start to, like, do a lot of brewing like I do on MTGO, everything just kind of starts bubbling to the top, like, oh, you know, Jun's over here, and Esper Control's over here, and, like, the archetypes for Modern are kind of set in stone almost. And so that's kind of why I don't really like those formats as much as I like Standard, because Standard rotates, Standard evolves, adapts, and is new, you know, every 3 months. Would you ever do Pauper content? I actually did a couple deck techs on the channel. I can link them right here on the top there, on the card there. But I did a couple of them. I'll definitely want to get back into it. I like Pauper a lot. The thing for me is whenever content creators like myself, Talarian, Saffron Olive, if we ever make, like, a video about Pauper, those decks that are like, yo, this deck is like $30, then, you know, it jumps up in price to like $100 because people talked about it, because that's just the way the secondary market works because of newfound interest. I do think that Pauper content is really interesting, though. It is definitely evergreen content for sure, just like how Modern is and Commander is. So it's definitely something I want to kind of look forward to in the future to do, because I do love Pauper as a format, but I think Pauper is almost kind of like Legacy Light or Vintage Light almost. There's just a lot of stuff in Pauper that makes you kind of nervous to play around or deal with. There's also some stuff that's, like, at common slot that you just like, why is this card at a common slot and it's in this format still? Why is it not banned? I feel like there should be more of a well-practiced or well-thought-out ban list for Pauper to really kind of shake up the format. And right now there really isn't that, because Wizards, for whatever reason, still isn't, like, officially supporting it. Even still, I don't really know why. I don't know. But yeah, I really like Pauper. I've done some content, and I'll definitely link it on the card up there. What was the first deck you ever went 4-0 or 5-0 with? As far as, like, going to a local game store, because when I was in college, this was around, like, you know, New Phyrexia, that kind of stuff, World Wake, into Innistrad. I never really went to a local game store because we didn't have one in town where our college was. We had one in the town over, but I never really went there to, like, game day to compete and things like that. I want to say it wasn't until, like, Khans of Tarkir block, where I lived in a town that had, like, a local game store, that I was, like, 4-0 and 5-0ing events. And I want to say the first deck I did that with was probably Jeskai Aggro or Jeskai Tempo. That's probably the one I did it with, like, Stoke the Flames and that kind of stuff. As well as, I'm trying to think what else was in that particular deck. Secret of the Way, all the prowess things like that. That was really good. Monastery Swiftspear, when that was in Standard, that's a really fun card as well. Just that kind of deck. I think it was really fun to play with, and I think that was the first deck I 4-0'd and 5-0'd, as far as, like, in, like, official stuff, like game days, FNMs, that kind of thing. But before that, I mean, I was, you know, having some fun at college playing, like, mill decks and just regular control decks and that kind of stuff. Do I play at a local game store or strictly MTGO? So I kind of tweeted at this a couple days ago, but like there's basically 3 local game stores near me. One is like 10 minutes from me, one is like 25 to 30 minutes, another one is like 45 to an hour from me. The 2 that are farther away from me are kind of like small and a little rough, and you know, they're 45 to 30 minutes from me, so it's kind of harder to get out to those. So I can't really go to those that often, especially with the baby now. And the one that's 10 minutes from me, I'm just not really a big fan of their like play area, so I just didn't really go to that one as much. I did go to that one a lot when I was in college, but not anymore. But you know, now that I have the baby, it kind of keeps me at home playing on MTGO. So, but if there was like another local game store, maybe I might want to go to it. I think the thing for me is I have to balance the time to go to a local game store versus the time for me to brew decks and stuff. And to be able to brew decks any time of day really is important for me, and I feel like Magic the Gathering Online is just like perfect for that environment. So especially whenever I need to like have certain cards, because like previously whenever the channel first started, I was like literally proxying out cards and that kind of thing and like putting them together. And with Magic the Gathering Online, it's really easy to just like throw a deck together for like $30 because the cards are a third the price. And then do some brewing on that. Last question here is, if you could be any superhero, what would you be? Would you keep your identity a secret or let the world know who you are, like Tony Stark? One, I think the Tony Stark style of coming out as a superhero is dumb and makes you a target. I don't understand why you would do that. 2, I really like Nightcrawler style teleportation. I think that's cool. I think that's a cool idea. But you kind of need something else with that. You can't just be teleporting, because if you're not like super strong or fast or whatever, then it really doesn't work. So I feel like maybe like a mishmash of like, I don't know, being really strong and then like being able to teleport. I think that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, like one of the scenes like in like movies, like X2 scene with the Nightcrawler where he's like spinning around at the beginning of the movie. Like that's like the best part of that movie. The rest of that movie is terrible. Well, it's not terrible, but it's very much not what I would expect from an X-Men thing. So I do think the beginning of that X2 movie is really fun based on just that scene alone. But yeah, that's the 25 questions there. Thanks guys for asking them. I might do one of these in the future if you guys like this video a lot. And you can always post more comments in or more questions in the comments below, and I may use that in a future video. But this is just kind of a stopgap video in between deck techs and drafting from Kenji and MTGO Finance and all that kind of fun stuff. So got more videos next week for you guys. Hope you guys have a great Friday. Have Demons, I believe, on Monday and Angels on Tuesday. Or no, Demons on Tuesday and Angels on Wednesday. There we go. So look forward to that. And yeah, I love you all. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does. I really do appreciate it. It really does help us out and help the channel grow. And make sure to hit notifications to make sure that you know when there is a video posting on the channel, and if we ever go live on the channel again. Also, I've been saying this in every single video I'm in, but I'm streaming again Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I'll be streaming the day this video goes out. I'll be doing Fan Friday decks that were submitted on the Facebook group and the Discord. So come out and have some fun on that on Twitch, and I'll see you guys there. So have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome MTG content just like this. And make sure to tap the bell icon to be notified whenever a video is made live. If you want to keep watching content, here are 2 more videos for you. This video and many others are sponsored by MTGOTraders and Cape Fear Games. Buy and sell digital singles to build your online collection today with MTGOTraders, and get your paper singles, accessories, and much more from Cape Fear Games. Whatever your Magic needs, both places have you covered.